Well, hello everyone. My name is Zachary O'Shea, and this is Box of Teeth. As it is Friday, I want to share a little bit more with you about the horror role-playing project that I'm working on. For those of you not familiar with Red Rock Shadow, let me go ahead and catch you up a little bit. Red Rock Shadow is an action horror role-playing game about war, desertion, and redemption. Loosely based on the Great War, i.e. World War I, it takes place in a pastiche of Europe from that era, but it is its own unique world. The game is spiced with themes and moods that originate from Software's Dark Souls and Bloodborne video games. The game is meant to be fast-paced, cinematic, with just enough mystery and horror to leave a long impression. Players take the role of deserters, soldiers that have realized that there is something very wrong and downright supernatural about the war. They have a unique connection to the strange substance that fuels the war, known as Kruer. This connection allows them to mow down foes ranging from common soldiers to mutated animals to demons and beyond. Deserters usually seek a way out of the eternal trenches or to destroy them altogether, and together they form a squad whose camaraderie can see them through the most difficult situations. It's been a lot of fun to work on. I got it going last year in January with an Ashcan edition and made a lot of changes since then, and I run it every week with my friend group as we're kind of banging out the pieces before rolling it out to a larger audience. I want to share a little bit more about the world with you right now. The internal trenches themselves, which is the setting for Red Rock's Shadow, are unhinged from time. The war began a decade ago. For those caught in the clutches of said war, it's hard to say what over a decade ago means. It could be a handful of days, or it could be a generation. Most lean towards the latter, as there are fresh troops that are still arriving from the home front that claim to be the child of a soldier who once served in the war. No one, not even command, can put together a coherent timeline of the major battles and events that have occurred either throughout the war. One officer might recall an important offensive that occurred 3 weeks ago, while another swears it was this time last year. Anything really beyond the current season just doesn't seem to matter to anyone. This disassociated state affects the future as well as the past. A planned attack won't be assigned a date more complex than 2 days from now, or next Tuesday, or in the spring. Some, however, the orders are still acted upon when they need to be, and shipments still arrive on time. When someone is pressed about the date or a time frame, that person is flabbergasted at first, or then tries to change the subject after. If an interrogator is too persistent, this fugue then turns into a murderous rage. The human mind just isn't elastic enough to accept time's failure, so instead of bending, it snaps. I hope you enjoyed this little tiny glimpse into Red Rock Shadow's world. You can get the Ashcan right now. It is on DriveThruRPG as well as Itch. Again, it is an Ashcan, so it's got some spelling mistakes, and it's definitely not a finished product quite yet. It is using the Lumen system then, but it has changed to a homebrew one that I've been working on quite extensively, that I think is, at this point, running really well. It's just kind of knocking out some of the numbers. And that's really what, is important when it comes to a coherent system that works. Of course, you can find it and other horror role-playing game projects that I have that are not Dungeons & Dragons, either on Itch or DriveThruRPG, or you can just go to www.zacharyoshea.com. If you're more interested in the D&D content that I have, that's all horror-focused, it's all 5th edition, and it's all perfectly free, you can go to boxofteeth.blogspot.com. And finally, if you want to read the fiction that I write, which is also horror, and this is Grease Paint, book number 1, book number 2 will be coming soon, so keep an eye out for it. You can also go to www.zacharyoshea.com. You've heard me babble on enough about links now. I just really, as always, appreciate your time and your attention. I hope we all have a nice, restful weekend and a great St. Patrick's Day. If you're going out and drinking, have fun, be responsible, and just be there the next day, okay? All right, everybody, have a good one.